Alright, as promised, I wanted to go ahead and put out a few videos so that way you can complete the new appointed research in patch 2.4. If you took a look at my previous video about how to get infinite booster modules, we already explained how to get everything needed for the bottom section for Ocean Ecology, so that way you can get infinite booster module 2s. So today's video is going to discuss what you need to complete the top part of Ocean Ecology, starting with mission 1, Sea Catfish. So this mission consists of one phase, and you need 10 neon material, 25 slime, and 50 small seawater fish meat. So the main thing here that we're trying to get is slime. And if you go down to the Dragon Breath volcano and you go to this teleporter, pretty much this section right here is where you'll see a lot of catfish. And you just go around and kill all of those, and you should eventually get enough slime. And as you see here, just killing 3 catfish, I already got all of the materials that I need to complete that section. Which brings us to mission 2, Neon Fish. This phase consists of 2 phases, to where you need 25 neon material and 55 small seawater fish meat. So if you remember my previous video, the best place to go get neon material is right here near Inners. Once you teleport to Inners, you just want to dive down into the cave and reach the top section, and you'll already start noticing the jellyfish. And as you see, just getting 1 jellyfish, I got lucky and I already got a neon material. But there are tons of jellyfish at the top of this cave, so this is the best place to go. Now for the small seawater fish meat. You can get to the middle of the cave and you'll start noticing electric eels. If you interact with them, you always get a small seawater fish meat. You can also kill these large snails, which helps you get booster module 2s. And the eels also have a chance to give you an electrical storage sack, which you will need in a later mission. But another good area to get this small seawater fish meat is at the pufferfish location, which is located here. And you can easily get there by going to this teleporter. Once you're at the location, you should see 7 pufferfish, and I recommend that you go ahead and pick these up because you're going to need a lot of poison sacks for an upcoming mission. But the nice thing about this area is you're going to see a lot of eels just swimming together, so you can just go up to them and interact, and you can get some small seawater fish meat very easily. And you should see 3 or 4 eels swimming like that over in this area. Which brings us to mission 3, part A. This is where we're going to need the poison sacks from the pufferfish. And you need 25 poison sacks and 55 small seawater fish meat. So of course we have the pufferfish location, but we can also use the route as discussed in my previous video, where you can start here and attack the jellyfish guarding the supply pod, where they have a chance to drop tentacles as well as poison sacks, and of course jellyfish. So now let's look at mission 3, part B, stingrays. So this mission consists of 4 phases, to where you're going to need 4 stingray mouth parts, 24 seawater fish fins, and 45 large seawater fish meat. I think the best place to get stingrays is to head towards the turtle cave. And the second I teleport, you will already notice stingrays right in front of me, to where you can go ahead and start collecting their parts. And you only need 4, and as you saw, just getting that 1 pickup, I got my 4 right there. And then here, of course, you can just kill all the fish around you, so that way you can get all of the seawater fish fins and seawater fish meat. But the best location to get the fins and the fish meat are where the swordfish are, which I'll show in an upcoming mission. So now we have mission 4, part A, which are the Lightning Eel, to where you need 25 electrical sacks and 55 small seawater fish meat. And as I previously shown, the best place to get the eels are in the middle of the cave near Inners, are where the pufferfish are located. Which brings us to mission 4, part B, Fanged Mackerel. And this consists of 4 phases, to where we'll need 15 Fanged Mackerel fangs, 60 filth, and 20 neon material. And the best location, I believe, would be around here. Near this teleporter, you can also swim down and you can find shark eggs, which you're going to need for a later mission. If you swim around this whole area, eventually you'll find the monsters trying to hide. And you simply just interact with them, and you'll go ahead and pull them out of their hiding spot. And as you see, this is where you can get your large seawater fish meat, filth, and fanged mackerel from this one monster. And while you're in this section, you will notice a few sharks. I recommend that if you see a shark, you go ahead and kill it, because you're going to need a rare material off of it, which is kind of hard to get. And for neon materials, I recommend the jellyfish at the top of the cave near Inners. Now we have mission 5, part A, Phantom Dolphin, consisting of 4 phases, where you need 5 single horns and 75 small seawater fish meat. And let's go ahead and discuss mission 5, part B, because the location for all of these items are in the same place. So the swordfish consists of 4 phases, to where you're going to need 5 swordfish fins, 24 seawater fish fins, and 45 large seawater fish meat. So the location for both the swordfish and the dolphins is around here. So once you reach reach this location, you're essentially just looking for swordfish and you want them to crash into the rock so that way you can get their fin. On top of that, there's also a lot of dolphin in the same area, so you're going to easily be able to find their horns. But once you find a swordfish, just to pretty much attack it so that way it aggroes to you, and then try to go towards the wall so that way it will crash into the wall. It will eventually try to ram you, but it's going to hit the wall and it's going to lose its fin. After a short while, it will generate the swordfish fin. Once you collected enough swordfish fins, you can now just start killing all the enemies around you. That way you can easily get the seawater fish fin, the large seawater fish meat, and the small seawater fish meat as well. Which brings us to the final missions, with the first one being Umbra Well, and it consists of 5 phases. So we're going to need 3 amberous, which are basically bubbles from the wells, and you will need 40 bones from the wells. And you only get 1 bone every time you kill a well, which makes this pretty hard to complete. And you will need 29 seawater fish fins, and 70 large seawater fish meat. So my recommendation is once you get the amberous and the bones from the well, I recommend that you just come back to the swordfish location to get the rest of the materials. But now let's discuss where can you find these wells. So towards the top of Inners, if you go to this teleporter, you'll see that I marked 3 locations where these wells can spawn. If you're strong enough to kill the well by yourself, or maybe just have a party of friends, you can just go to these 3 locations back and forth until you have killed 40 wells. Another option is to do a well AFK farm. So you can search the world or the recruit chat and look for an AFK well or AFK well hunting party. Make sure you have 0 equipped and dodge 5 times so that way you get the 5 orbs, so that way you can hit the well when it comes. Then you just want to position yourself where everyone is standing in the group. The well will eventually respawn. With everybody's 0 orbs, it's going to quickly kill the well. On top of that, one person in the party has Saki, allowing you to freeze the well in place. But since Saki's freeze is random, sometimes it doesn't always freeze the well on top of the party. So I recommend if you do this strategy not to be fully AFK, so that way you can swim around and collect the drops in case they're not near you. And now for our last mission, Skull Sharks, which consists of 5 phases. To where you're going to need 3 skull shark eggs, 17 skull shark skeletons, 17 skull shark tooths, and 29 seawater fish fins. So if you remember earlier in the video, you can go to this teleporter and you can find skull shark eggs. And you only need 3, so it shouldn't be that hard to get. And then for a good place to where there's a lot of sharks, you can go to this teleporter and you can go up and down this canyon right here. But I also recommend that you go to this teleporter and you go to this location to where you'll see a supply pod guarded by 3 sharks. This is an easy way to where you can get the materials that you need. So after killing quite a few sharks, eventually you're going to get all the materials. And these are the materials that you can get from the sharks. But one thing I do want to let you guys know is that the skull shark skeleton is hard to get. So while you're collecting the other resources, if you see a shark, I recommend that you kill it so that way when you get to this section, it won't be as hard. And with that, you should have everything you need to clear out Ocean Ecology. Now for the rewards, they are pretty good. You do get a couple goading gears and SSR relic shards, but we also get high spec sensors, which I believe are going to be able to trade in for something nice later on. So I would say that you do eventually want to try to clear all of these out. That way you can just focus on making booster module 2s with your energy. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If so, feel free to check out part 1 of this series. But other than that, talk to you guys later.